Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Mr. Worth. He made his first appearance in Detective Comics, issue number 1035, that was released in April of 2021. His complete name is Roland Worth, and he's part of one of the wealthiest families of Gotham City, right alongside the Waynes and Cobblepots. Being a mountain of a man that's described as being a stack of money and muscle. Standing 8 feet tall, and I approximate he weighs at least 400 pounds. Having brown eyes and brown hair, as well as having a distinctive thick brown mustache. Now, although Roland seems to have no discernible superhuman powers, he is massively strong and extremely agile, being shown easily going toe-to-toe with Batman, tossing the 6'2", 200-pound Batman around like a rag doll. Now, whether this was because he was in a berserker state from losing a family member, or just the simple fact that he's nice with his hands, the end result is all the same. Now, we're introduced to Mr. Worth during a particularly bad crime spree that was going on throughout Gotham City, with the Joker War and other shenanigans going on that were overwhelming Batman at the time as well. Particularly since Bruce had recently been forced to give up his family fortune and company. The giant rich man was injected into the storyline when his daughter named Sarah had been abducted. Batman and GCPD were hot on the case. But unfortunately, Sarah had lost her life, and Batman was observed by the police on the scene when they got there. The Dark Knight would escape, but that would put him squarely at the top of the suspect list for the murder. Being full of grief and rage, Mr. Worth would then use all of his resources to launch an all-out attack on Gotham's institutions, even making an angry scene at his own daughter's funeral, and increasingly becoming more unhinged as the hours went by. We'd soon see another murder take place not very far from where Sarah Worth lived, which would actually lead to Bruce Wayne being brought in for questioning since he lived close to both of these individuals. And when the unhinged Mr. Worth heard about these coincidences and that Wayne had been brought in for questioning, he moved quickly to take actions into his own hands since he felt that justice wouldn't be served by Gotham's institutions. The big man would then use his connections to empty out the precinct that Wayne was being held in, then brazenly blasting it with a rocket launcher that leveled the building. Bruce would survive and declare his innocence to Mr. Worth, who just refused to believe him. However, Bruce would end up getting away into the sewers where he could change into the Batman. But Worth would catch up with him, putting up an epic fight. And their conflict would lead to progressively more dangerous scenarios and explosions that threatened the entire area. Their battle would come to a temporary standstill when Lady Clayface would appear in the form of Roland's deceased daughter, which bought Batman the opportunity to take Worth down and take him into the local precinct. Although Worth wouldn't stay locked up for long, with him being immediately released and then giving a personal press conference stating that he was going to take out both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Mr. Worth wouldn't even mind teaming up with the Penguin in his destructive rampage across the city. However, what he didn't realize is that this whole time he was being manipulated by Hue Vile, who was the parasitically controlled villain that was the mastermind behind all the chaos going on in Gotham City, with this disgusting creature actually gaining power from all of the violence going on around him. This chaos would actually lead to Batman himself being infected with the Vile parasite, and then being compelled to ironically attack Mr. Worth, who, despite his massive strength and determination, was nearly taken out by the Vile Batman. But since Mr. Worth seems to be such a worthy physical, financial, and reputational adversary to Bruce Wayne, we can rest assured that the Wayne-worthy story is not quite over. Similar to himself, Batman has found someone else who uses extreme acts of violence to cope with their grief. Now, for his abilities and his influence on the DC universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Mr. Worth a rating of 5, which is an enigmatic rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.